Hey guys, and welcome to another crypto roundup. This one's the 8th of March, and let's just get straight into the charts. I'm just going to go through obviously my daily lookups. I'm going to go through a couple of follow the money charts, one or two OG coins, and then DeFi. I'm not really going to go through much on the DeFi side of things. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week. Um, Obviously, we kind of retraced this entire down move. Um, let's just quickly take a look. I don't think we quite made the 50. Yeah, okay, so we retraced this whole down move, already 50%, and we're kind of heading into that OTE short area on the weekly. But yeah, let's just start mark out a few things. So we got our range, pretty much from like around about here, and up to the all-time high over there. And we've got this weekly open over here, and it seems as if we've put in our weekly low today already. So those are the weekly lows. Let's just get it over there. Just want to mark this one out as the weekly lows, just so that I kind of have a point of reference. Yeah, so in terms of the weekly, like I said, Bitcoin's kind of retraced this entire down candle, well, at least 50% of it. And we kind of are heading into a little bit of an area, like over here, of resistance. If we zoom down into the daily, we can actually start, playing just with like our demand and supply. So supply is right at the top here. We'll keep it short and sweet. And our demand is down here. Right. So we kind of skipped the retest to demand, which kind of shows that like a lot of guys were trying to get in, and kind of front run, like most of the normal order flow. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens quite often. And we kind of in this pivot area now, which has been tested quite a few times, right? So it's had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests already, and we're kind of entering into this pivot area where I reckon, we're gonna kind of, break out of it like this, probably retest it, and then take out the highs. If we're looking for targets on the highs, if I go around from the swing low, if I go from the swing high down to the swing low, we're looking at around about 68k. On the weekly, just that last swing, you're kind of looking at around about 64. So I'd probably say, from the 64 range to around about the 70 range is the next high, for BTC. And obviously I just want to put in a vertical line, pretty much showing where March kind of ends. And the significance of March is obviously that we have a massive amount of derivatives and options that need to get settled. And basically, like the end of February, you kind of saw this kind of sell off, and that was just the options. And I did see, I think it was Larry. Let's just quickly take a look. Who did a little bit of a tweet thread. I think it's here. And he got quite a bit of cool information let's just see which one it is. So here you can actually take a look at the aggregated open interest of the Bitcoin futures, and I mean it's extremely huge. Like, I mean, we didn't even have 5 billion open last year. We're looking here at like close to 20 billion, so we're about 4x the amount of open interest in terms of derivatives and options. So all of this needs to get settled. So at some point, I reckon that we will see a sell-off. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be calling tops, because I think Q2 is genuinely the quarter where you want to be a buyer. So I would imagine that we're kind of going to see like this push up, and then there'll be quite a bit of divergence, bearish divergence going into the close of those quarterlies, and then we're going to see a pullback, right? And I don't know how low that pullback will be, but obviously that's the pullback that you want to really get, because I think that would pretty much be like the low of the year, if the low is already not in. It certainly will be quite a big shakeout, and then I believe Bitcoin will probably go for like the 100k mark, going in towards the end of the year, first quarter of next year. So yeah, like exciting times. Let's just go down onto the 4 hour just so we can refine some of these. So we've got a new block over here. So that's a little bit of resistance, supply, and then this one over here, obviously a little bit more supply. So there's quite a lot of stops that need to get run. Yeah, and I'll probably be watching a bit of the open interest and just see how much of it kind of gets taken out, if we kind of, you know, break above this pivot level over here. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. One of the big surprises for me was Ethereum. Last week we kind of saw Ethereum and we looked at it and we were like, you know, not going to be touching it. But yeah, I mean, it's recovered probably even quicker than Bitcoin. We do have a weekly block coming up here. Right, so that's the first area of supply, and we're just about there. If you want to get a bit more confluence, you can pull that down to there, and you kind of see like on the weekly we kind of got this OTE for a short entry. I don't really think that I would pull the trigger on a short up here, although there is quite a nice risk to reward ratio, because we'll probably, you know, come down and at least test these lows over here. If I look at the daily, we do have this area over here for demand. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad setup. I'm just too much of a pussy to take it, yeah. So it'd be something like that, yeah. So it's like a 1-to-3 ratio. It's not great. What I definitely think could happen though is that, like, if we do break above it, we could flip this, maybe just, you know, chop around in here, and then you know, kind of go for that high over there, $2,500. The way that I get to the $2,500 is just pretty much the same as we did for Bitcoin right now. But yeah, I think that the next kind of top for Ethereum is 2.5K, and it's looking super strong. Still got loads of volume coming in. Okay, let's quickly go over to Link. Link, pretty much the same thing. So if you get onto the weekly, you kind of got that area over there is an order block. I think that's from the daily or 4 hour. Let's just check on the daily. Yeah, so that's from the daily. Also looking at like a target of like 47 if we flip this OTE. You got demand, you got your supply, so you got a nice range over here. And I think like I've been going on for the last couple of weeks, like I said, price was going to be ranging. And if you look at this in terms of weeks, it's not too much ranging. It's like kind of 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I think that just might be enough, accumulation. This whole area here was like a really long period of going sideways. Here you only had 1, 2, 3 kind of before the next one. Yeah, but I mean it kind of looks ready, right? You just got to get above that OTE over here, and you could probably say that like this area here is kind of like a pivot area. If you wanted to draw in this as a pivot, we're almost done, right? And if we do go down from this area, test this demand, I'm definitely going to be a buyer in this like area over here, purely because then you'd have this double high here like this, and we all know, I mean, that's like, it's pretty much screaming at you, like these are the stops to get run. So yeah, like if you missed out on link, I'll definitely pick some up here if we get you. Otherwise we'd just have to wait and see once it takes out those, like if it retests there. But I think ultimate target around about 47, and link is looking good. Right, I'm going to be quite fast going through most of these. So like FTT, on Twitter yesterday I said how extremely bullish I was. We have come into the OTE here for a short. We have got on the daily, we have got some demand right underneath us. So yeah, definitely looking quite strong. Once we break into this like kind of block and stay above it, I'll get even more bullish. But I think FTT as well, like you're looking at a target of around about 41, and it's looking really good. In terms of Sol, also looking pretty good. There's loads of stops up here, as you can see. We've also got that doubles, those double tops there, these double tops. So I would imagine that we are gonna pretty much take it. This week I did add quite a bit of Sol and Serum and FTT to the bags. So I'm going full retard on all of all of Sam's coins. SRM pretty much the same. I longed this morning. Got out like at 6.1 somewhere. I longed this test here, and I think on the 30 minutes is how I got the setup. Let's quickly see. Yeah, so you had this block over here. It's been tested a few times. It's been tested, like, call it 1, 2. This was how I got out. This is where I entered this morning. Yeah, it was just like the retest of this kind of pivot. This looks really bullish, obviously, like, as we go sideways. We just got to kind of flip this, and then we'll probably be up into this area over here. But SRM, if we go back onto the daily, still looks really bullish. Sol as well, we're kind of flagging here. FTT also super bullish, and then Ray is just sending. I got the entry here. I didn't take the trade though, so boohoo for me. But like, yeah, Radium's really going for it. FTT also, obviously, like, for the IEO that's coming up, I'm pretty sure a lot of guys in the DeFi space really want to get a piece of the pie when it comes to Oxy, as like a settlement banking layer or exchange, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, loads of guys, chucking a whole bunch of money at that IEO for sure. I'm gonna be buying as well. So yeah, FTT. You need FTT to take part. So yeah, I think this is just pretty much a formality that we're gonna get above here, and then it's just gonna rocket. 41.69 as my first target. Okay, let's go into this couple of the OG coins. I'm just gonna look at the ones that I'm really keen on at the moment. So XTZ is one of them, following the plan quite nicely here. I'm not actually long on the perp or the USD. I'm actually long on the BTC pair. So as long as this one's really showing some good signs, I'm pretty keen on holding that open position. The other big one is OMG. This looks really, really good. Yeah, so we kind of, we had this, I think from 2 weeks ago, we had this weekly open. Prices come in. We've seen quite a bit of accumulation underneath it, and the minute that we got back above it, we sent, right? So we pretty much getting capped over here. But I would imagine that if we could, just break out above here and then kind of go sideways in this pivot, we'll probably go for the highs. So this could potentially turn out to be a super insane trade. And I definitely, I definitely want to get into it. So anything down here, I'll be a buyer. Otherwise, anything like that, I'll be a buyer in this pivot area over here. And that's pretty much that for the OG coins. I see Doge is making some moves here. And like we spoke about last week, we kind of said that it was going to range in this area before it started its next move. And yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. This is going to be the 4th week in this range. We could probably see another test to the bottom. But I think Doge is definitely going to send at some point. So definitely might just bump that up, to kind of take a look at it. And then the other one that I want to quickly take a look at is XRP. And I don't really like trading this, but obviously, there's quite a bit of news that has come out. France kind of looking at XRP as a solution to their digital banking. Obviously, we've still got this pivot that I've been speaking about week after week. So we got to get above it. But with this news, these kind of double tops over here are definitely the liquidity. So I would imagine, if we do get above this pivot, I'm not sure how much resistance this is going to be. It's already tested once, twice, 3, 4. You can call that 5, 6 times into that area. So I would imagine that we would break through this pretty easily on the first go and then kind of put in a new high for the year. If I have to, get a target, we'd be looking at $1, right? So, yeah, buy the rumor, sell the news type of setup. Yeah, like I say, I don't think that we'll stop there. And then we're looking at about $1 as our target on XRP. Yeah, let's see what comes of the news, but it is there. I don't think they're going to be using XRP tokens. I think that that's all the rumor right now, and then we'll probably see that they are only going to be using the Hyperledger or whatever it is, but that seems to always be the case in crypto. Yeah. What also kind of makes it a little bit more bullish for me is that we've retested, this kind of accumulation range. We broke out, we've come through, we've taken out those highs, we've taken out the lows, and now we're kind of consolidating again. So I definitely think XRP, you're going to see some action. That was quite big news that came out. In terms of DeFi, like I said, I don't really want to go through too much DeFi. Coins that I'm holding, 1 inch, looking great. Kind of bouncing off the lows of the week there. VET sending. We'll probably see 77 cents, and then I'll probably reckon that we're going to definitely see VeChain and trading at 10 cents. Yeah, I've been bullish on this for quite a long time. And then a good mate of mine, yeah, he kind of told me about Theta, and I didn't buy. I should have, right? But yeah, there's some good news coming out on Theta, so I definitely want to take a look at getting any dip, kind of, and hopefully at some point, you know, like kind of getting this on the weekly, nice demand zone. I think there is like news of like a mainnet launch or something, so we probably will see, you know, like a blow off top, and then this would be the area where you kind of want to buy before it carries on going. So Theta definitely going to be moving that up, you know, maybe just below dot. Ave as well, below dot. Yeah, so that's pretty much that in terms of crypto. There were a couple of guys that were just asking me about Tesla. Look, like I say, before we go over onto the normie markets, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin until the end of the month. So like I said earlier on, I definitely feel we're going to see like quite a crazy sell-off after we take out these highs, and that would be like a big buying opportunity as we get closer to the end of this quarter. So just, you know, get out your chart, mark out the first. Let's just do this. Oh shit, that's on the weekly. So mark out the 31st like that. And pretty much when you start, you know, coming closer to this zone, especially if price is trading above the highs, I kind of think that we will see this sell-off. Yeah, like I say, I could be wrong. Most quarterlies are always, you kind of get, you know, like price trading into a certain area, and there's loads of bearish div, and that's when, you know, like the algo starts selling stuff off, and it's, you know, it becomes like serious chop. Like, I mean, all of this was chop as well, right? And then all of this was chop as well, and these were all chop, you know, going into the end of the previous month. It's options closed, so it kind of does that, right? So you'll probably see a high, you'll see a little bit of, you know, something like this, and then loads of chop as it goes through the levels, and you kind of want to see this like last level holding here, 38. But I would imagine that's probably where like I'd want to kind of get my bags back again. For now, still holding strong, and I think that that 64 area up to like 70 area is definitely where I want to start offloading. Okay, so let's go back to some of these, and the entire tech market's kind of selling off, right? So they're like all selling off really, really hard. The one that the guys asked me to take a look at was obviously Tesla. We're down 30%. This area of consolidation we've kind of broken through. You got this nasty wick here on the weekly, and on the daily it looks even worse. It looks pretty much like a shit coin. So yeah, like I think like these 440s in the gap here, like 420, right? Always like the meme type of thing. Would probably be an area where like I'd probably load up on Tesla. And what's awesome is like I say, I mean, like these things are all now available on FTX. So yeah, I mean, you could pretty much buy them up. yeah, so I shorted to here. I think I took profit. So I shorted somewhere along here. It was all public in the Discord and on Twitter. I took profit somewhere here. Geez, I wish I kind of held, yeah. But it takes so long for these legacy markets to move, that you kind of, you don't really want a lot of your capital sitting in them. So I think for the long term, what I'm going to do now is I'm kind of just going to be looking for levels where I could buy. So I'll start charting these ones out again. None of them are looking great. This is kind of bottoming out. Hopefully we kind of see a little bit of a green and this crossing over on Apple. But they're all mega down, right? Like from the highs, they are 20-30% down. I definitely feel like it's time to kind of get stuck in and buy. So yeah, look out in the Discord. I will be popping a couple of these setups in, all long-term holds, obviously. Like I say, I'm not going to be trading them. They move really, really slow. I kind of just want to add them to my bags and kind of keep them there. And then there was a few questions on gold. So yeah, this is where we're at for gold. What I kind of, I don't know, like that was the all-time high from 2011. Like I don't buy that we kind of just ran those highs. I mean those stops from like 2011, right? So like 10 years ago. Highly doubt that they're still there. So I don't know really what's causing this sell-off. I don't know, like we Bitcoin might be flipping gold. Countries might be getting involved soon. I don't know, like what can I say, right? From this swing, we do have an OTE coming up over here. So this might be an area of, like an opportunity where you can buy. It kind of is in line with this old area of distribution. So we could just be like kind of testing this area before we go on the next move. But I'll be monitoring this quite closely. I'll also be putting a couple of these setups in the Discord. Obviously, if we kind of don't hold that, then we'll probably test this area of consolidation. And yeah, like if that doesn't hold, then we're probably coming for these lows. So I don't know. Like I mean, the chart doesn't look great. Although you still kind of you got this high and then you got a higher high. You got that as the low. These are the low now. So like on a serious like monthly chart, like you're still kind of bullish. The problem is that when you go down into like a 3-day type of chart, you just got all of these lower highs and lower lows. So yeah, not looking great. Like I say, I think we might just hunt these stops. I don't know why, but that's from last year, like Corona crash. So yeah, we might hunt them. If we just go back to the weekly, like I say, what's interesting is that Bitcoin kind of took out its all-time highs, never retraced. It kind of just carried on going, and gold's kind of doing the exact opposite. So we will monitor this a little bit closely. For now, like I say, I'm just really interested in packing all of my follow the money bags, a couple of OG coins that are getting interesting, and then as much DeFi as I can, as well as the IEO that's coming out on FTX for Oxy. So yeah, like I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Happy trading. If you got any questions, hit me up in the Discord on Twitter, and I'll gladly chart what you want me to chart. And other than that, like I say, have a great time, have a great day, have a great week, and we'll catch up later. Peace.